Now on CoastTV News.
Rental rules. Milton eyeing changes where short-term rentals can and cannot be.
The search continues for an 18-year-old who fell into the Broadkill River on Tuesday.
We have some hazardous heat ahead in the forecast. More on that coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
A home, but not your home. That's a rental. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. It's a debate that's been had before, and it's a debate happening now here in Milton, the battle over short-term rental rules.
As more people visit the coast, specifically smaller towns like Milton, those people need places to stay. But that's created friction between permanent residents and owners of short-term rentals. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken live in Milton. Emma, the town could add more rules about where rentals can and cannot go.
Maddie, we're at one short-term rental here in Milton, and places like this have caused some controversy here in town. We spoke with one neighbor who says these ruin the community feel, and he wants the town to limit where they can go. But other locals we spoke with today disagree. They say they have no problems with Airbnbs, and they welcome them here.
Searching for a place to stay in a small town like Milton on websites like Airbnb. Last month, the town added more rules regulating the short-term market. That's any rental for 30 days or less. The new rules include license requirements and a limit on how many people can stay in these homes. Now, town council is asking the Planning and Zoning Commission to get involved to see if even more regulation is necessary and if certain areas need to be zoned for short-term rentals. But some locals, like Inez Ruark, think rules like that would be overreach.
I think it should be up to the owners of the property, and if there are any complaints, then it's up to them to correct them or else just stop doing it. But knock on wood, we've had no problem.
But others disagree with Ruark and want more to be done.
We spoke with one Milton local who says she's totally against short-term rentals, and she hopes the town implements more rules on them.
But Georgia Jennings think they help the community.
I think it's good for the restaurants and everything. It's a tourist town, you know. It's crowded in the summer, but during the rest of the year, it's not too bad for the locals.
As Milton weighs the future of who can rent where and for how long, the town finds itself at the crossroads of hospitality and hometown harmony.
The town wants the Planning and Zoning Commission to submit a formal report outlining zoning strategies for managing short-term rentals in residential areas by September 8th. Reporting live in Milton, Emma Aiken, CoastTV News.
Some of the requirements that were approved at the June 2nd Milton Town Council meeting were as follows. Property owners would be required to obtain an annual rental license, limit overnight occupancy to 2 adults per bedroom, and ensure the presence of functioning smoke detectors, carbon monoxide detectors, and fire extinguishers.
This brings us into our CoastTV poll. We want to know, how often do you notice short-term rentals in your neighborhood?
Let's take a look at the results so far. 48% say they've never noticed them, though 22% say very often, 15% say sometimes or rarely seen.
If you haven't voted yet, or if you want to leave us a comment, go to coasttv.com or use our CoastTV mobile app. The area on your screen now is Oyster Rocks Road in Milton, where a search resumed for a man who went missing Tuesday afternoon in the Broadkill River. That's according to DSP. That search continues for 18-year-old Yorch Niz Chalil, who fell into the Broadkill River on Tuesday afternoon. The Lewis Fire Department told CoastTV News the young man is from Harrington. He is presumed dead. Telemundo Delmarva and CoastTV News reporter Ana Sofia Roman is live in Milton. Ana Sofia, you are the closest spot you could get.
Charlie, the search for Niz Chalil has prompted the closure of Oyster Rocks Road. I'm standing right now about a mile from where this young man went missing, but earlier today the closure was further up, I will say about 2 miles. You can see here on my left, these Delta trucks have been closing the road for hours. According to the Lewis Fire Department, Niz Chalil was standing on a piece of wood when he was fishing. He slipped and went in the water. DSP says scuba divers are in the river searching for the victim. Several family members and friends of the young man attempted to get to the scene, but they weren't allowed due to the rescue efforts on the way from DSP and Denrec. I spoke with a family member who said there are relatives of this young man who haven't left the area since Tuesday, all hoping for one thing, to recover the body.
There were quite a few family members, friends and family members, back not at the scene, but close enough. And we are working with them, with our victim services unit, to make sure that they have the information that they need and the information that they want.
The SP says it's unclear now until what time the search is going to continue, but they urge the community to contact 911 with any information. Live in Milton, Ana Sofia Roman, Coast TV News.
And new tonight, first responders have recovered a body found in the ocean off Cape Henlopen State Park. This is a different incident altogether. According to the Rehoboth Beach Police Department, the body is 27-year-old Gregory Caratu. The Lewis Fire Department says a kayaker spotted the body of Gregory Caratu about 1,000 yards offshore between Harrington Point and the bathhouse. Caratu went missing in the ocean near Rehoboth Beach on Saturday night. We're taking a live look into the Cambridge area. You can see some clouds in the sky there and a little gray as we check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams. And Paul, I know you've been watching the weather all week to see what's going on.
Well, you know, we're flip-flopping between thunderstorms that could be a bit tricky to deal with and the heat that's in between the two when it's not raining. I mean, it's like we're going extreme with one or the other. Extreme rain or extreme heat, no middle ground. So right now we're at 88 degrees in Laurel with the dew point temperature at 80 degrees. That's crazy. 88 for us right now in Long Neck, Millsboro, Dagsboro, Gumboro, Georgetown, Laurel, as well as Delmar. But here's what it feels like. It feels like 106 right now in Milton. All right. It's 106 right now is what it feels like in Redden, and it feels like 106 degrees right now in Seaford and 110 Ocean Pines. We have an active heat advisory, which technically goes into effect tomorrow. But of course, we're feeling the heat right now, and it will stay in effect until 8 o'clock for Thursday. Now, that's also including areas like Ocean Pines, Golf Club Shores, Snow Hill, Pittsville, George Island Landing along Highway 354, as well as 12, and Oakville with Restover, and it's also inclusive of the folks that view us in Cambridge, Bucktown, Vienna, Hurlock, James, Taylor's Island, and Andrews. Once again, staying in effect until 8 o'clock for Thursday evening. Cloud cover staying relatively limited. That's why we're warming up so quickly and so nicely. We had a spot of a sprinkle or two right off of Highway 1 just south of Ocean View, and here's the wider view. So it looks like we're going to stay dry for tonight, Maddie, but the heat is the thing that we got to focus on for the next 24-hour period.
Thank you, Paul. In a break with President Trump, some Republican lawmakers are calling for the Epstein files release.
As Ryan Nobles reports, that has drawn the ire of the president, who lashed out at supporters saying they've been drawn into a hoax.
I call it the Epstein hoax.
President Trump, angry and frustrated, lashed out today at his supporters who are calling for the full release of the Jeffrey Epstein files, claiming the controversy is a hoax and blaming Democrats for pushing it.
It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net.
But for years, right-wing influencers have perpetuated conspiracy theories about the convicted sex offender, believing Epstein, who was charged and died during the president's first term, did not kill himself and that he left a client list. President Trump, when he was elected for a second term, promised to release the Epstein files, but this month Attorney General Pam Bondi published a memo contradicting those theories and hasn't released all the documents. That's angered many in MAGA world even more, who now want to know, is the Trump administration hiding something?
Like, look, where's the Epstein files? Boo, can't find them, don't exist.
Even some high-ranking Republicans calling for transparency.
You need to have all of the credible information released for the American people to make their decision.
Make public everything you can make public.
Trump, though, standing by his attorney general.
Pam Bondi, I really think that she's done very good. She says, I gave you all the credible information.
But so far, that hasn't quieted the conservative critics, including lawmakers, some who now say Bondi needs to answer their questions. One even suggesting a special counsel should be appointed to investigate. Some Republican lawmakers also calling on Ghislaine Maxwell to testify. She is, of course, the longtime associate of Jeffrey Epstein, also convicted of sex offending crimes. She's serving 20 years in prison, but she is appealing that sentence, so it is unlikely she'll testify on Capitol Hill anytime soon. Ryan Nobles, NBC News, Washington.
Still to come, healthcare costs, they're going up. What you might pay more this year.
And we're about to have more heat problems.
But first, don't get burned over burgers. It's grilling season and we have safety tips for those good eats up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
It's grilling season, but as you throw that meat or some veggies on the grill...
Safety experts say you gotta be careful because grilling can quickly turn dangerous. It actually might cause more injuries than you think. Mandy Gaither explains.
It's popular, especially this time of year. Grilling is a great way to cook a variety of foods, but it can also be dangerous. In 2022, an estimated 5,400 people were sent to emergency rooms for gas or charcoal grill-related injuries. It can also pose a risk of fire and carbon monoxide poisoning and causes 13 average yearly deaths, according to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission.
Grills are one of the most common accidents we see during the summer months.
Dr. Anna Palmameta with the Burn Center at Brigham and Women's Hospital says July is the peak month for grilling-related injuries. She says she sees everything from minor burns to major ones.
People are mishandling the propane tank or pouring gasoline or lighter fluid directly into the grill, and they sort of have this back force of flame and fires.
Safety experts say only use grills outside in well-ventilated areas. Never use them indoors in a garage, breezeway, carport, porch, or under a surface that can burn. And check the grill and the gas hoses before use, searching for cracking, brittleness, holes, and leaks, and replace if necessary. And never leave a hot grill unattended. Keep children away. Meta says she's had to treat little ones too.
Sometimes, they just kind of put their hands on the grill, burn their hands, different body parts.
Finally, clean your grill to prevent grease buildup, which can be a fire hazard as well. For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Here's a look at your Bay forecast. We're dealing with sweltering heat for Thursday and a good chunk of heat with a chance of thunderstorms on Friday. Your full forecast coming right up. We have a taste of the heat that we're really getting an advisory about for tomorrow, but we're getting a decent slice of it right now. So heat advisory is in full effect. Let's focus on the heat and then some more rain that'll follow that. In Cambridge right now, we're at 88 degrees. The dew point temperature is at a whopping 79 right now, and the winds are coming out of the south. We could see a little sneaky shower is what I'll call them. A sneaky nighttime shower about 9 o'clock Cambridge, and then more like towards midnight for the rest of us, because Cambridge is the one that's the farthest to the west. 89 degrees right now in Milton, 89 in Lewis, 91 in Redden, 88 Seaford, 87 in Laurel. And that's warm enough and close to the norm for this time of the year. But when you factor in the fact you got dew point temperatures in the 70s, that means that we are escalating quickly as far as this steam is concerned. We're going to stay on the miserable side of things in a major way. And that's why we have the heat advisory that is in effect for pretty much the entire Delmarva Peninsula, which includes us, until Thursday evening. Technically, it starts Thursday morning, but we're trying to get extra credit homework from the teacher, right? So we're already in the midst of it feeling like 100 plus degrees. That's also including places like Ocean City, Pittsfield, Snow Hill, George Island Landing, and the folks in Cambridge, Hurlock, Andrews, and Mardella Springs, as well as Taylor Island that view us, staying in effect until 8 o'clock for Thursday. Just don't see a break in the heat until then, even with a chance of a shower. We got a quick developing pop shower right off the coast, off the beach for us near Rehoboth Beach as of right now, but that's carrying out towards deeper water and not necessarily swinging back towards us. And then to our west, we see a peppering of scattered showers really well to our north and northwest, but it's not an immediate threat for us because it's looking like it's guiding to our north. And in fact, this latest model run, indicating the more intense cells, the yellows and the reds, all of them that we thought might be hitting us here in Sussex County have carried well to the north up towards pretty much Atlantic City and that area. So with that being the case, along the coast for Thursday, temperatures well into the 90s, the winds out of the southwest pretty active at about 18 to 19 miles per hour. So the wind is actually going to make it feel a little bit better, even though it's still going to be hot like crazy. We're looking at 93 for the high in Georgetown, for example, 92 in Seaford. We're warm to 94 in Cambridge and Easton, and we'll get up to 93 in Berlin, 92 in Ocean City. Now, let's talk about how hot it's going to feel. Thursday, 6 o'clock, it's going to feel like 105 degrees, for example, in Selbyville. That's Thursday evening. Then we go into Friday, it's going to feel so much better because it'll only feel like 94. Imagine saying that. Everything's context, right? But then we bounce right back to the 100s going to the weekend, particularly Sunday. As we go back to 100 to 101, the heat index is likely to occur. As far as rainfall is concerned, Thursday and Friday diminishes greatly, but Saturday and Sunday, it really kicks in for us, even though it's looking scattered. Where our threat marginal as far as Thursday is concerned, so I'm not looking for a big bad wolf of a storm, but we're looking at widespread scattered showers to at least keep us really wet for the next few days going into the weekend. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Thursday's hot, Friday is back and forth, Saturday's dry but hot again, Sunday's another thunderstorm or two, and then next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, it looks like that rain is trying to clear out of the way, Charlie.
Hey, I like that. Thanks, Paul. The Little League Softball Mid-Atlantic Regional Tournament kicks off this Sunday. Delmarva Sports Network will be in Bristol, covering Maryland's Del Mar team and Delaware's Camden, Wyoming squad. It's brought to you by Preston Automotive. We'll have live updates and game highlights all week on the Delmarva Sports Network app and website and social media. So stay tuned to the Delmarva Sports Network for all the action. Meanwhile, tonight on DSN, catch the final score at 10:30 p.m. And on DSN Plus, you can watch those softball games set for today.
Coming up, the Department of Education says it's opening an investigation into the University of Michigan. We'll explain next on Coast TV News at 5.
We proudly salute Brian Uebel for his dedicated service as a Fleet Marine Force Hospital corpsman with the 3rd Battalion, 8th Marines in Afghanistan. Serving alongside Marines on the front lines, he provided critical medical support under the most challenging conditions. His courage, commitment, and care for his fellow service members embody the highest values of military service.
Spicer Brothers and Coast TV are honoring military persons and first responders serving Delmarva. If you have a family member, friend, or community member that you would like to nominate for a Coast TV salute, go to coasttvsalutes.com.
Department of Education says it's opening an investigation into the University of Michigan. Officials say the foreign funding investigation follows a review of the university's foreign reports that revealed, quote, inaccurate and incomplete disclosures. The Department of Education says the investigation also ties into the case of 2 Chinese researchers charged in June with smuggling a biological pathogen that they plan to study at a University of Michigan lab. The University of Michigan released a statement condemning any actions that threaten national security and saying the school doesn't receive funding from the Chinese government in relation to those charged.
You might see a bigger, chunkier paycheck going towards health care costs next year. That's according to Mercer's survey on health and benefit strategies. It finds more than half of employers say they're planning to pass higher health care costs onto their workers. That means health insurance options could include higher deductibles or out-of-pocket maximums. Companies have seen rising health care costs over the past few years. The amount an employer spends on health benefits is expected to jump nearly 6% this year. That would follow a rise of 4.5% last year. One more live look outside into Laurel now, and one more check on your forecast after this break.
Coast TV News at 6, the iconic Ferris wheel in Ocean City being taken down. What's next for the area? That story and more on Coast TV News at 6.
In Milford, we're at 91 degrees. Dew point is actually 78. We're looking for perhaps a quick developing spot shower briefly for us around the 9 o'clock hour. Other than that, not much more beyond that for us in Milford. Our umbrella giveaway winner is Barbara Malatesta, and that's from Laurel. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration Home Remodeling. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line, 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Brockstead, Medalis, and Federico. Finally, here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. We have a heat advisory in effect for Thursday, high of 94, feeling like 105 or 110. Leaning more towards 110 to be honest. A mixture of heat and thunderstorms on Friday. Saturday we get a brief break, then Sunday we come back with another round of thunderstorms. Monday and Tuesday we cool down below the norm for this time of year before we warm back up to above normal temperatures by next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Thanks, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.